Every human being on Earth lives within the shadow of addiction. We often associate this word only with substances like drugs or alcohol, but addictive patterns extend to eating, gambling, working, and even the simple reflexive act of scrolling through a phone. These behaviors are a form of misidentification. We cling to the distractions of the world because we are trying to manage the internal weight of our own suffering. This suffering manifests as grief, numbness, or a deep sense of boredom. We feel an underlying angst or loneliness and look for any available exit. The addictive pattern provides a temporary reprieve. It suspends the discomfort for a moment, acting as a behavioral strategy to delay the emotional pain we aren't yet ready to face. These emotional states operate like gravity. It is the literal weight of inhabiting a physical body, pulling our attention and our energy downward. This gravitational pull forces the body to contract. Our breathing becomes shallow, the mind becomes fixated on its problems, and our internal systems grow rigid under the stress. When the downward pull of pain arrives, we trigger an avoidance behavior, creating a brief plateau of relief. But the cycle eventually dips lower. We rely on this automatic pattern. Stacked loops create a dense mass of unresolved emotion. By constantly avoiding the initial discomfort, we solidify these gravitational patterns. We trade temporary relief for a long-term state of psychological rigidity and depression. Interrupting this descent requires absolute honesty. The first step is admitting the specific condition of your life and identifying exactly where you are caving in to that gravitational weight. Think of it as putting on a pair of glasses that only sees addictive tendencies. You use them to observe your own daily routines without judgment. Look for the moments where you refuse to be still. Notice the specific behaviors you use to prevent yourself from simply sitting in a pause. Identifying the urge and choosing not to act on it creates a space. This pause is the only place where gravity can be neutralized. Observing the shadow of your own habits is the necessary starting point. You cannot move upward until you have acknowledged the force that is currently pulling you down. Opposing this gravity is the force of levity. This energy clarifies thinking and provides a sense of vitality that can lift a person out of a stuck or frustrated state. Invention is the active expression of this levity. While inventiveness is a skill one might learn, true invention is a mystery, a sudden burst of creativity that wells up from the unknown during a moment of stillness. This creative energy provides the oomph necessary to break the gravitational loop, drawing attention away from the heavy pattern and back toward possibility. Transformation follows a progression. Within the pause, you sow a new, conscious thought. This thought reaps a fresh action, establishing deep roots. Repeated actions become customs, healthy patterns that replace old addictive habits entirely. This shift from a compulsive reaction to a creative custom changes the trajectory of a life. By choosing the upward force of levity, you move toward a different kind of character and a new destination. The ultimate destination of this upward move is silence. It is the source from which invention emerges and the place where we find our most authentic state. We must distinguish this from digital silence. That modern invention is soundless but empty, a numb, lifeless, and vacuous state that mirrors the addictive loops we use to distract ourselves. Many people avoid true silence because the mind fears annihilation. We mistake the absence of noise for the absence of existence, treating the void as something that will consume us. But true silence is pulsing with life. It is like the silence of space, alive with light, frequency, and hidden luster. It is not an empty vacuum, but a field of infinite potential. Our fear of this stillness is a misunderstanding of how we evolve. Silence is the space where one form of energy transforms into another. It is the background of eternity. The addictive shadows from Act 1 are not obstacles to this process. They are the compost for it. The friction and the pain we experience provide the very material required for us to grow. This is a cyclical journey. We emerge from the silence, learn through the weight and gravity of the world, and eventually return to that silent source with a more refined understanding of ourselves. Each time we choose a creative custom over a compulsive habit, we polish our nature. This gradual process reduces the downward pull of gravity and allows us to align with a more effortless sense of purpose. By facing the silence rather than running from it, we stop the mechanical repetition of the past. We allow that living stillness to reshape our lives, turning our history into the foundation for our future.